Hello students, let's read this question. Jack has a part-time job on the weekends delivering Chinese food for several hours. He earns $150 each week. Choose the equation that demonstrates the relationship between Jack's total earnings T after W weeks. Okay, so I'm going to use the strategy of cubes for problem solving. So I'm going to start underlining important information. In the first sentence, I don't see any numbers or math vocabulary or any situation that indicates that we have to do math. Now this is important. He earns $150 each week. This is going to be important, definitely. 150 each week. So I need to identify what the word each means. I'm going to bring one of my anchor charts for math vocabulary for operations. And the word each, if I look at my anchor chart, is in here, each. The word each sometimes can mean division and sometimes can be multiplication depending on the context. But if we analyze this sentence, guys, it says he earns $150 each week. So let's think about it. If 1 week passes by, how much money is he gonna make? Great, 150. What about if 2 weeks passes by? That will be more or less money? More money. So if this amount is getting larger, what do you think is happening here for the word each? Is it multiplication or division? Very correct. In this case, it's going to be multiplication. Great. Let's analyze the next sentence. Choose the equation that demonstrates the relationship between Jack's total earnings. This is important. Jack's total earnings T after W weeks. So they're using another variable right here. Well, what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna identify the steps that I completed in my problem-solving strategy. We did circle and underline. In this case, we highlighted. We're gonna box the question, and the question is to choose the equation. We know equations have an equal sign, okay, that demonstrate the relationship between Jack's total earnings T after W weeks. So we have to come out with the equation in this case. For this situation, guys, where a scenario is given and we have to come out with an equation, I'm going to use the strategy of rewriting the important information and then using math symbols in here. I'm going to pause the video so I can write the sentences that are important, and then from there you can follow me. So I wrote the sentence with the information that I highlighted in the scenario, and I'm going to put the colors that I use. For Jack's total earnings, I use this color, the yellow color. And then for the weeks, I use this orange. You see that, guys? And I also added this section to my anchor chart. Okay, great. So for Jack's total earnings, this word is going to be very important. The word total. And that word, if we look at the anchor chart, can you see it, guys? It comes right here. So this symbol where total is represents the equal sign. So then we notice here that for Jack's total earnings, they're using what letter? Letter T. So the way we use this symbol, guys, we use the variable T, and then the word total that represents equal, we just write it right after. Now, are you familiar with writing equations? Yeah, you have done it in class before. Great. Then the other information here is after W weeks. Now, on top of this information, I'm going to write the information that also we got in the scenario for the word week. I'm going to write it for you. So now I added this section in green, 150 each week. And if we notice, we already highlighted the word each. In this case, we chose that is representing multiplication. Great. So now we all have to do is just transfer this number in here. So we got the number 150 that we got it from this green section. The total we got it from where we highlighted in yellow, like this. And then it says each week. And for each week, we said it's going to be multiplication because that number is going to be repeated. And let's put that example again. If 1 week passes by, we're going to repeat the 150 how many times? Yes, 1 time. What about if this happened in 2 weeks? What are you going to do to find the money? You're going to repeat the 150 2 times. Yes, because he worked 2 weeks. And what about 3? 150 times 3? Absolutely. So you see how this number of weeks can be changing? Like when we were in elementary, we used to write a number that we didn't know in an empty box. Now in middle school, we use the variables. So great. We have to repeat 150 times as many weeks as we have. Let's look at the answer choices and see if any of these choices has the same equation. And totally right. Your answer should be letter D. Great job, guys. Thank you.